Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everybody's having a fantastic little day or a big day. We cannot be sure. David, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? What's up?
Oh, nothing, man. Nothing, man. Yeah, just a little bit late here, everybody. Just a little bit, only 16 minutes late. Um, that is because I've had a long day, and I was just visiting David, actually, over at David's house, where we watched the World Cup football game. David always talks trash about football, and then I'm over at his house, and then we're watching football there, which is
No, you didn't see me watching football for 1 second. Season
which is
doesn't even start. Season doesn't even start for another couple months. And you didn't see me. You definitely didn't see me watching soccer.
so. I just want to point out the hypocrisy. David always talks trash about football, calling it soccer, and he's like, "Oh, it's gay, it's gay, it's gay," and then it's like literally on his TV, and we're watching it, which was pretty messed up.
Turns out you saw some of the cousins. Some of the cousins are actually some of the young cousins. They're kids, but they're soccer players. They're soccer players, and yep, that's bad parenting in my book. But anyway, well,
Nothing. Nothing. I just thought of something funny. So, hey, David, what's up, man? Have you heard of the whole stabbing and stuff?
yep. Everyone said 5, but I just looked it up. I think it was 2 from that dude, and then there were a couple other things also in the same city on the same evening. So I don't know if it was that same dude who went around or if there are multiple people doing something. But so not clear on the details here. Might have to get to the bottom of things, not in the zit sense.
So what happened is apparently that one man in Scotland decided that he needs to go out and take matters into his own hands, and then began attacking people in the street with a knife and started stabbing people. And then
What you said knife? I saw one picture. It looked pretty big. Looked more like a machete or something like that. I couldn't see because it was a blurry thing, but it looked like something bigger than like a regular.
everything between a pocket knife and a samurai sword is a knife. So I just decided that. He stabbed a bunch of people, and then he was arrested on the spot. And then his explanation was basically that he's sick of it, that he's sick of Muslims, that he's sick of
He's sick.
Muslims sexually abusing and assaulting the girls and women of his country, and that he wants to put an end to it. That's what there's also footage of specifically that, or specifically what he says as he's being arrested, and we will have a look at that. And then we have also seen the reactions by people, including Muslims and others, who immediately made this all about Islamophobia and anti-Muslim and anti-Islamic propaganda, and started blaming people from Rupert Lowe to Tommy Robinson to David Wood and all that. So
David Wood?
I haven't seen it, but probably somebody
They better
did.
not. Yeah, they better not try that stuff with me.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Here's what's seriously screwed up. Now, on the one hand, it's just stupid. This isn't an effective response to grooming gangs. Why? Because everyone uses it to then silence critics. I don't think it's going to work this time. It has worked repeatedly in the past. After the Anders Breivik attack, which wasn't even that wasn't against Muslims, but he was complaining about Muslims in his manifesto. That's when YouTube started cracking down and cracking down on videos, banning videos and stuff like that that were too critical of Islam or too harsh and stuff like that. It was right after that that they took down our Dearborn video, which was guys slapping us around in Dearborn, but that got taken down because that video might cause the same thing against people in Dearborn. when we were the ones who were attacked. That was us. But us posting that we were attacked in Dearborn might cause someone to do a Breivik style attack. And so that's when they started being really, really worried about that sort of thing. And that lasted for years. And then you had the Christchurch attack in New Zealand. That was used for the same thing. There was a wave of banning content after that. So when someone actually says, "Hey, I'm just going to go attack some Muslims because I'm mad about something else," that gets used to silence critics. Now, what's super creep now? So that's on the one hand. On the other hand, all the absolute scumbags, Mehdi, Hassan, Bushra Sheikh, been seeing them all day since the attack, blaming everyone who criticizes Islam for these attacks. Now, think about this. What are they trying to do? They're trying to silence critics of Islam and mass Muslim migration, all these things. They're trying to silence critics. But that's actually what leads to the attacks, because people get super frustrated that stuff isn't reported. And then they just, oh, well, I can't count on the media. I can't count on police. I can't count on the government. I have to go slaughter people. So they're trying, in other words, they're trying to create what is actually causing people to react violently. If people trusted their government, trusted police, trusted the media, they'd say, okay, then we trust our government and police to take care of these girls, and we trust the media to report on these things when they happen. So we trust the system. But when people think, no, the system is massively screwed up and even complicit a lot of times, I have to go do all this stuff myself. And then you get the attacks, and then they complain. Oh, see, this is why no one should ever criticize Islam, and this is why the government should never have any problem, should always side with Islam, and this is why the media should never report atrocities carried out by Muslims and stuff, which that's what actually causes it. Breivik said it. Breivik said it in his 1,500-page manifesto. I know, because I went through that thing. Tons of the stuff is irrelevant stuff, like what he did that day, like almost like a journal. Like I went to the gym today and I worked out and I took some steroids and this. And he's just like all stuff like that. Anyway, I'd skip that stuff. But it's actually when he's actually talking about what led to him deciding to commit mass murder, he said basically in the 1980s when he was growing up, he started seeing Muslims like just beating up non-Muslims, and they'd form gangs and they were just going around beating up non-Muslims and stuff. And he said he started realizing there's a problem here and wanted to do something about it. This led him to reading the Quran and the Hadiths, and he said, oh, this is connected to Islam. And then in the 90s, he had to decide what he wanted to do about it. And he said he thought about going into politics. He said, I'll go into politics and try to deal with this. And he said, but I realized any person in politics who tries to bring this up is instantly called a racist and marginalized, and then they're completely dismissed. So he said, it's pointless. In other words, I can't solve this politically. I can't do it. The system doesn't work. I can't deal with it by talking about it. I can't deal with it by going into politics. I can't deal with it that way. And he said he got the idea from Al-Qaeda. He said, I got the idea from Al-Qaeda that the only way to break through this system and be heard is deadly shock attacks. That's the only way to get people to pay attention to your message. So he wrote his big manifesto, went on a killing spree. So that's a guy who sits there and tells you, I do not trust the system is garbage and the system is complicit. Therefore, I have to go on a killing spree by myself to deal with the problem. Similar situation with the Christchurch guy, probably similar situation with this guy. They completely, that's the thing. Like in the West, generally, you want your message across. There are ways to get your message across. You think there's a problem in society, you're normally able to bring up those problems, protests, things like that. Once you no longer trust the system at all, you think it's a complete joke that's stacked against you and is stacked in favor of evil, then people decide to just get violent on their own. And what I see from Mehdi Hassan and all these guys is they want to keep that going. They want to keep it going. Yes, shut up about Islam. Shut up. You're not allowed to speak about it. And you're going to get more attacks if you're going that route. You want to, if you don't want the vigilante style attacks on Muslims, on random Muslims, you need to restore trust in the system, which means you need that report about the grooming gangs. You need more reports about the grooming gangs. You need way more people getting locked up. You need people who are complicit to lose their jobs. There need to be consequences for all that, for police who didn't, who were worried about being called racist and stuff. People need to lose their jobs. Anyone who was remotely connected, who was remotely connected to anything, or who knew about it, who can be deported, needs to be deported. Those are the sorts of things that would restore people's confidence in the system, in the government, and so on. But yeah, if this just becomes, oh, look, see, we report on the grooming gangs, and look, it led to this violent attack. This is why none of us can ever mention these things again. It's just stupid. Bad idea.
It is a stupid, bad idea. There's a lot of discussion about. I saw people trying to prompt people who generally criticize Islam, who speak against Islam, expectations of us to condemn this incident. And also suggestions that people who criticize Islam are the ones who are responsible for this attack. And it's just it's incredibly hypocritical, man. It is incredibly hypocritical. You have immediately people jumping up, and we want to have a look at that. People jumping up and saying that the attack happened because people demonize Muslims. The attack happened because there was this rape gang inquiry report. The attack happened because somebody said something negative about Islam. And now everybody who has ever spoken negatively of Islam is responsible for this attack. It's kind of funny how that works, isn't it? Because whenever there is a Muslim attack, whenever an Islamist attacks people, which happens all the time, everywhere around the world, every day, it's always, it's got nothing to do with Islam. Muslims have nothing to do with it. Muslims bear no responsibility for it, no matter how bad they are, no matter how messed up the things they are that they say. No matter how much they are in agreement with the terrorists, they always have nothing to do with it at all. We should never blame the Muslims. We should never blame the Islamists. We should never draw that connection. But when somebody attacks Muslims, it's suddenly we are all responsible. It's all our doing. We did this. We did this. I would never, ever call for somebody to go out there and to attack and lynch and stab random civilian Muslims. I will say, and I said it before, and I will say it again, that in a reasonable country, if your people, your girls and your women are being raped and mistreated and attacked by Muslim grooming gangs, the perpetrators, right? The perpetrators, those who do that, not all Muslims, not every single Muslim, the perpetrators who do that shouldn't just get a comfortable prison sentence. I think in a reasonable country, those people would be brutally dealt with. They would be brutally punished. I think that is entirely justifiable, and I stand by that every single time.
Hey,
never, however, call for attacks on random civilians.
It's massively screwed up. UK sucks, man. UK sucks. In America, a couple of those guys went to prison, they would face some miserable existences in prison. They'd have to go into protective custody because they would get the crap beat out of them on a daily basis for messing around with 11-year-old girls and stuff like that, and having rape gangs and stuff like that. They would get the crap beat out of them regularly. In the UK, it's so common, and the prisons are filled with Muslims that it's just totally normal there. It's so in other words, it's they would actually face some of that punishment in the U.S. from other inmates who really, really don't like people who mess with kids. But over there, nope. I don't even have that.
So let's have a look at a few things here. First off, before we get into that, I want to quickly talk about something else that just happened. There are reports that somebody was attacked at Speaker's Corner today. A Christian guy who was speaking there was attacked, was left injured. And then after that, a cameraman was also attacked and injured.
So a couple of weeks ago, who chopped someone's head off?
I'm sorry?
In the UK.
I just said in general. In general, that's what the mandatory of the Muslims have to do, to chop the heads and impose jizya. You know already in the Quran. You know already in the Quran. Your Quran called me. Your Quran called me a...
Somebody got attacked here. It was captured. Then some cameraman who was there also got attacked. Police arrived, and the attacker who did that was... the attacker who did all of that was arrested. I saw this because I opened my Twitter feed and I saw Visegrad posting about how two Christians have been attacked at Speaker's Corner. I was wondering what that's about. So I opened up the clip and I saw David here on the clip. Not David Wood. I mean, good David.
Good David.
Yeah, good David, or tall David, or black David, as David calls
I'm tall too.
He was there, so I gave David quickly a call and asked him what's going on, and he said to me that this is completely different. Somebody seemed to have a personal dispute and came and started attacking one of their friends, and then also then attacked the cameraman who got injured, and they have both been taken to the hospital. But David told me some people might be making this about a Muslim coming and attacking Christians or something like that. He said to me, to my knowledge, there is no such thing going on. This was a personal dispute. That's all I know. But I will let you know more once I know more, he said. So that's what David told me. That's all we know. Right now, I don't think that there's a terrorist attack going on here. So just want to briefly address that because people have been asking about it. People have been messaging, did you see what happened at Speaker's Corner today? So that's going on. I'm still waiting for updates from good David here. Once he let us know, we shall look into it further and see what's up. However, aside from that, before we get into the stabbing, I want to look at one other thing, which is, this is quite incredible. So as people know, the World Cup is going on, and the Islamic regime of Iran is also playing at the World Cup. And they sent their Islamic regime team. However, Iranians there also go and attend and watch the World Cup. And the Iranian diaspora, especially Iranians in America, are heavily anti-Islamic regime and are heavily, overwhelmingly pro-Iranian monarchy. They want the...
because most of them had to flee that place.
Yes.
And so they fled because they can't stand those dudes. But they still love Iran. They still love Iran. They just hate the regime. That's actually people who, most of them seem like they would love to live in Iran, but they can't because of the sick regime that's in charge.
Yeah, they basically they love their Iranian heritage and they hate the Islamic regime, and they consider the current Islamic the Iranian country and nation they consider currently as under occupation of the Islamic regime. And there were videos coming out of today's match between Belgium and Iran, where you can see Iranians massively booing and whistling while the national anthem of the Islamic regime is being sung, which was quite interesting.
Nice. Oh, la vie. Oh, la vie.
This is quite incredible because I've watched most of the games so far of the World Cup, and for every single country, when the national anthem is being played, there is you can see overwhelmingly the crowds with joy and with pride singing their anthem. But when it's Iran, you can see Iranians booing the anthem of the Islamic regime and whistling and rejecting it, which is incredible.
Wait, did you say you've actually been watching all this crap?
Yeah. This is beautiful. This is music to my ears. Loud boos erupt around SoFi Stadium as Islamic regime's anthem is played out during Iran versus Belgium game. Iranians once again remind the world that the regime in Tehran is illegitimate and does not represent us, says Throwback Iran. The state TV in Iran practically muted the opening ceremony because of the boos. You can try taking away our flags, but our voices won't be silenced. And you have pictures here of Iranians with what they call the true flag of Iran, with the lion and the sun, or with a crown on top of it all for the monarchy, rejecting entirely this flag, which has Allah written on it in some weird style. So that's nice to see. That's nice to see. Now, coming to the stabbing in Scotland. But before we do that, let me quickly take a few super chats here. Jack Ray says a winger, guy in the glasses, and a prayer, AP. This is true.
Oh, get it, a winger. It's on a wing and a prayer. And he said a winger and a prayer.
That's funny.
Super witty.
I must clarify that you are confusing wingerlings with woodies, though. David is part of the Woody Club. David Wood has his own fan club, his own audience, people who follow him and watch him all the time. They're called the Woodies.
How about the woodpeckers?
Libel says, waiting to find out the man is Ali McAlzoot. The Digital Watchman HQ. David Segarra watches football. I say, viva la raza. Yeah. David does watch football all the time. Jack Ray gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for inviting 5 people by force into our cult and never to allow them to leave again.
Yo, AP, come September, you'll be over my house and we'll watch real football. And all of a sudden, your testosterone levels will like quadruple and you'll become super, super based. Now, what sucks is you'll get an inclination to become an orthobro, but don't do it. Those are guys who are like pretending to be like manly and stuff.
Dude, if I wanted to watch
fragile,
that, I could just go to my kitchen and get some eggs and start throwing them around while behaving like a caveman. No, I don't have to watch a game for that. Egg ball. Sorry, hand egg.
Keep playing with the piranha, dude. You're American now. You got to start acting like an American, not some commie Turkish.
You call it football, and then it's just guys carrying an egg in their hands, and it's not even a foot. It's like hand egg. That's the real name, hand egg. The Mule 52.
You never heard of a field goal. Never heard of a punt. Never heard of the extra point.
Nobody in the world has heard of any of those things except Americans. The Mule says AP Zabiba has faded. Nice to see you, AP. Oh, hi, David. Johannes Hugenboom says it's an isolated incident. He had mental health problems. Don't cause division. Don't look back in anger. I want to add, please do not politicize the deaths of or the injuries of the Muslims. Please do not politicize. Abstain from politicizing it. Do not politicize such an incident.
And the Scottish community of the UK is concerned about repercussions against them from angry Muslims. That's what we hear after every Muslim terrorist attack. It's, oh yeah, we CARE will announce, oh yes, we condemn yesterday's attack, but we're really concerned about the backlash that's about to come that never comes.
That's right. That's right. The mighty Mala says, Happy Father's Day to our Heavenly Father. He blessed me with a rack of beef back ribs to smoke today, and I can't help but brag. Nice. Very nice. Happy Father's Day. Coltrane, God did not give me this sword to serve the Sultan, but to defend his church, Skanderbeg. He's proudly remembered as the Albanian hero who fought against the Ottoman Turks. Did he kill the Sultan? Is that what he did? I don't remember exactly.
Anyone who fights Turks is cool in my book.
Did he kill the Sultan? Is that what he did? I don't remember entirely the story. I don't remember. Somebody remind me, please.
Whoa! This
What?
painting of him looks pretty pretty based.
Chicken Power. How is the beat of your intro called? Where to find? I made it myself, so you can't find it anywhere. I took a royalty-free, copyright-free Islamic humming and sound, and then just thought, hey, this actually doesn't sound bad. Let me add a beat to it. That's it. That's all I did. I know it sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Fatwa.
Hey man, you can make beats, and you've got the musical skills, and now you found out my kid can sing, so you guys can crank out some awesome tunes, man.
Dude. I didn't know if I want to mention it, but his singing skills. Do you want to explain what happened?
Oh yeah, apparently he was showing you the lyrics that he'd written for a Zoot parody song of a Roy Orbison song, right? Now, Roy Orbison had one of the most amazing vocal ranges ever. I think Freddie Mercury is like the only guy I could think of who was like comparable in terms of they could sing low or they could just go all the way up, all the way up. One of these like 6 different octave dudes and stuff. Anyway, my son can do a pretty decent Roy Orbison, but he wrote the parody, and so I hadn't heard. I didn't do the karaoke and stuff like. I hadn't seen him do the karaoke and stuff like that, but he was showing you the lyrics, and I just put karaoke on for the Roy Orbison song, and he started singing it.
And it was when he first told me, hey, I'm planning on making this Zoot parody song. And I was like, okay, nice. Yeah, we can work on that. And he said, well, I'm going to sing it myself. I'm going to record it. And then, you can add the music to it and we can mix it and make a nice production. Yeah, I'll do that. But when he said to me, I will sing, I was expecting it to sound like crap. And then we sit down and he starts singing. First off, very good lyrics. But the second thing is, it is one of the best singing voices I've heard in my entire life, especially from an amateur singer.
He can rock a Roy Orbison, man.
I was shocked. And I asked him if he ever took singing classes. And no. What?
Yeah, so he does a really good Roy Orbison impression, and he can do he's probably better at Elvis songs, man. He's probably better at Elvis. So but yeah, everyone, he was singing his version of Crying. Yeah, it was Crying. So it's that cry, but his was crying over Zoot. And yeah, the whole thing was a Zoot song.
Very, very, very messed up. This is how David raises his children. Fatwa says, but think of the backlash toward peaceful critics. Mm-hmm. This is true. Fox McCloud, this is going to lead to a government overreaction and more freedom restrictions on your speech. They will use this as an excuse, and we all know it. Well. And we'll talk about this further.
Yeah, that's the way things have been in the past. This will be interesting because historically, that's what all of these attacks are used for, to silence critics and to make new Islamophobia laws and things like that. However, this happened right after this report on the silencing of the girls and everyone, all the whistleblowers and stuff like that over the grooming gangs. I don't think it's going to work this time. I don't think they're going to. I think it would. I think it will blow up in their faces if they try to use that to establish more Islamophobia laws and stuff.
Yeah. Fox McCloud, no. Hujinta, what's up, Hujinta? Hi from Londonistan. Every time I go to India, literally all my relatives, friends ask me the same question. Are Muslims now a majority in the UK? Because every UK story they see is about Muslims getting away with something. Many AI engineers I know left for UAE or India. I may be next. It's going to get better. Things are going to turn around.
Yeah, don't go to, yeah, go come to the US, man. Come to the US.
No, go back to India.
No, US. USA. USA.
How could Iran have an anthem if music is haram? That's a good question. All right, let's have a look at this stuff, man. Let's have a look at this.
Yo,
stuff.
how's that work? Because music being haram is in the Sunni hadiths. I don't know if Shias have the same thing in their sources about music.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Shias have consistently been okay with music.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we have here a clip. I cannot show any clips of the incident of the violence happening because if I do that during a live stream, YouTube will say, "Oh, why are you showing violence on a live stream? Now it's time to shut down your YouTube stream." So I will show a clip of the moment that this guy got arrested.
Yep, you're allowed to show people being arrested
and people shouting. Language
you're allowed
warning.
to show people shouting.
Language warning. Made. Take your kids and hide them now.
This is interesting. I haven't even seen this yet, so this will be first time I saw this.
All right, let's see.
Focus, protecting the country and these fucking little bastards raping our young daughters, raping our kids. Enough is enough. I have had enough.
So this is the attacker. After he's being arrested, after he stabs a few people in the street, he says, "I told you time and time again." As apparently they have asked him multiple times why he did this and what he's doing. "I told you time and time again, I'm protecting the country from these effing Muslim bastards, raping our young daughters, raping our kids. Enough is enough. I have had enough." Let's watch it again.
Focus, protecting the country and these fucking little bastards raping our young daughters, raping our kids. Enough is enough. I have had enough.
This is the clip that we have. This is going around and people start sharing it and saying, look what he's saying. This is very much in line with what Tommy Robinson and Rupert Lowe and others have been saying. This is what the critics of Islam are saying. So therefore he must have been inspired by them and therefore they must be responsible for this. Therefore they must all be held accountable for this. Tommy Robinson must be held accountable for this. He's probably guilty for this. He caused this.
Yeah, you already pointed out the hypocrisy. When it's a Muslim terrorist screaming Allahu Akbar, oh, you see, this is the same thing so many other Muslims shout. They shout Allahu Akbar, just like this guy. So they're the exact same. And they're all responsible. Same reasoning.
Yeah. Tommy said, so someone has apparently attacked a group of Muslims in Edinburgh and was heard shouting he's protecting girls from Muslim rape gangs. Police are already calling it a terror attack, not a lone wolf with mental health problems. This was all inevitable. Politicians and legacy media have ignored the concerns of the British public long enough, slandering everyone instead of facing the issue. Now, he points out what David just explained earlier and what has been on my mind the whole time since I first saw it, which is we have just seen the reports, right? We have just seen a huge, giant inquiry report of an estimated 250,000 victims in the UK of grooming gangs, of Muslim-run grooming gangs. And we have repeatedly seen, all with clear evidence, with irrefutable proof, we have seen all of it, that there is a consistent pattern where the authorities in the UK refuse to handle the situation out of a concern that their actions might be perceived as Islamophobic or as racist or as bigoted. There was the big Rotherham scandal where the grooming gangs were allowed to operate for decades, allowed to abuse British children, British girls for decades, because the authorities that were on the case were afraid of being called bigoted. They were afraid of being called anti-Muslim. They were afraid of being called Islamophobic. You have again and again a pattern of the majority of grooming gang perpetrators being Muslims of Pakistani or other Muslim country origin. And people in charge refuse to call this out and refuse to do something about it because they are afraid of being called Islamophobic, of racist, of being called racist or bigoted. People who talk about this, like Tommy Robinson and others, are depicted as racists, as Islamophobic, as bigoted, and are dealt with much harsher measures than the rapists and the raping gangs and the grooming gangs and their perpetrators themselves are. There is a cry for help by people in Britain to do something and to protect the children, to protect the women. Nothing is being done. No promises are made. No groups are deported. The punishments given to rapists and to grooming gang perpetrators are ridiculous. They are laughable. A guy who rapes children and women 8 times or more and gets a prison sentence that is, 16 years or something, and then is allowed to walk out again with a possibility of early release. The people of the UK, the women and the children are being treated like dirt, while the Muslim population is being treated like babies. The rapists themselves are treated with so much care. You don't want to offend anybody. You don't want to offend the rapists. This is a consistent pattern. The government doesn't do anything about it. They don't change. They let this happen. They let this go on forever and over and ever and ever, leaving people not much of a chance, pushing them to the edges of their control, and creating circumstances like this, where some guy goes out and starts attacking Muslims with his attempt that he declares that he has had enough of this, and he wants to put an end to Muslims raping the young daughters of his country. None of this would happen if the British authorities actually were protecting their own people. None of this would happen. None of this would happen had the situation not gone into the ridiculous direction that it has gone. Supposedly now, the government starts listening to people and starts taking care of mass migration and starts pondering on deportation. Will they actually do anything? No, they won't, because they don't really care. They just want to give the appearance that they care. You have parties like Reform very disappointingly deal with the situation. You have another party that is Restore Britain come and directly promise that they will put an end to this and they will deport millions. No, I personally don't think that they can actually achieve any of that, but they make these promises, and they are depicted by the media and the Labour government and others as racist, bigoted, Islamophobic, and all that. Leaving ordinary people no way out of this but to go out and take vigilant action. I don't think that you should take this kind of vigilant action. I do not think it is right in any way to go out and attack random Muslim civilians. Despite all my opposition and my hate for Islam, despite my opinion that so many people need to be deported, I do not think that it is in any way a good solution to go out and stab and attack and punish random Muslim civilians. But the authorities, the media, the government, they push people to do this kind of stuff. They want to blame Tommy Robinson and Rupert Lowe and others now. They want to blame the critics of Islam now. I think the real ones who caused all of this are the media in the UK, the Labour Party, the police, the authorities. I think they are the ones who caused this. I think they are the ones responsible for stuff like this happening. They are the ones who should be held accountable for this. They are the ones who even caused the killing of innocent Muslim civilians or the attacks on innocent Muslim civilians who have nothing to do with this in the streets of the UK. I think they are the ones who are responsible for both the fostering of rape gangs and the attacks on other Muslim bystanders. Anyway, what's up, David? What do you think?
Yep, that's who's responsible.
Now, I am Carol B says, Apostate Prophet AP, stop being the person who is begging for the worst to happen because you are pessimistic. That makes me furious. I do not understand what you're talking about. I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. Is the problem being solved? Is the problem being, do you see the problem being solved here? I think that things can genuinely change, and I think that the people of Britain can wake up and change the way that things are, but is the problem being actively solved as we speak right now? Can you genuinely tell me that you think, yeah, the problem is currently being solved? The whole grooming gang situation is currently being resolved. People are actually about to be deported. There will no longer be two-tier policing. The problem is currently being solved. Can you genuinely tell me that? And believe yourself when you say that. Is that what you're saying? I don't understand what you're talking about. I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. Aussie Abe, I read through the entire UK inquiry report. I am no longer the same. I understand that. I understand that. Benny Wonderful made a €2 super chat. Libel, AP imagine American footballers against a hardened team of Welsh rugby players. I already know who is not scared of getting cauliflower ears. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know which side you're on there, but exactly. David, I saw you respond to some of these concerns.
I responded multiple times.
Here is David saying Muslim terrorist screams Allahu Akbar while slaughtering unbelievers. Muslims, don't blame Islam, don't blame the ideology, don't blame anyone but that particular man. Scottish man stabs 5 Muslims. Blame everyone who has ever criticized Islam and anyone who reported the grooming and rape of tens of thousands of young British girls. David, why did you make such a weird post?
That's what happens every time. I mean, I just checked the Religion of Peace, who keeps the running tally of Muslim terrorist attacks since 9/11. It's at 49,500. So it's about to hit 50,000 this year. It's about to hit 50,000 Muslim terrorist attacks since 9/11. After anyone, you don't hear about most of them. Vast majority, you don't hear about 99% of them, guys. They're just endless. But the ones we do hear about, we're always told that you're wicked and immoral if you blame the ideology that the people are citing when they're carrying out these attacks. Don't blame their religion. Don't blame their prophet who said that he'd been made victorious with terror. Don't blame any of that, and don't associate any of this with any other Muslim in the world. That's what we hear every single time. And whenever you have these rare instances, and I say rare, of like a Anders Breivik or the Christchurch massacre or this guy stabbing some people, whenever you have that, you see everyone who's ever criticized Islam is responsible. This is Tommy Robinson's fault. This is Elon Musk's fault. This is Rupert Lowe's fault. This is AP's fault. This is D. Wood's fault. Even the attacks that are fake, like the one on Sheikh Uthman, we got blamed for that instantly.
It's our fault that somebody put ketchup on him.
Mm-hmm. I'm so mad at these guys for criticizing Islam that it's their fault that I squirted fake blood all over my dress. See that? This is on Rupert Lowe. This is on Tommy Robinson.
I'm Carol B says, do you want the problem solved today? They are starting. Stop the negativity. People want to sit back and see it fail so they can say, I told you so.
What the heck is she talking about?
Who is solving the problem? Who is solving the problem?
Yeah, what's she saying? Is she saying they're starting with the report or something like that?
Who is starting to solve the problem? Who is doing that? Who is solving the problem? Who is solving the problem of rapes and grooming gangs and two-tier policing in the UK?
Oh, I'd say they're starting. We don't know. I mean, they've started multiple times in various ways. It always sort of fizzled out. So the question is now different. Are people actually going to pay attention now? But we don't know yet. We have no idea yet.
I will believe it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I will believe it when I see the first attempt at actually solving the problem. So far, I haven't seen a single attempt at it at all. Yeah, somebody will get elected and then solve the problem. Some party will get elected and then solve the problem. Yeah, sure, we can talk about it once that starts. So far, I don't see a single step into that direction at all. All right, let's look at some of these people. Yes, the report is starting. Do you want to turn back time and have it done by now? You mean the report by Rupert Lowe is an attempt? The report by Rupert Lowe is him attacking the system, the government, because they are not starting to solve the problem. Do you think the government is actually taking this seriously? They see it as a problem that the report is out. That's all.
No, there's just no way of telling that whether this is going to lead anywhere yet. You'll start seeing, you'll be able to start to tell once they start having elections and things like that. But right now, this could end up doing very little. I hope it does a lot. I hope a lot more people. Well, no, a lot of people are going to be better informed right now. You'll have a lot more people who understand the problem. Does this reach the threshold that's going to tip Great Britain in a direction where they're finally going to start dealing with this? We don't know. I mean, you had the 7/7 bombings. You think, oh, that'll wake them up. It didn't. Then they started crushing Islamophobes even more. And it was like that over and over and over again. So just, yeah. We have to be skeptical that this will change everyone's mind suddenly, because every time there's something we think, oh, now this will be obvious to everyone, and it isn't. So
let's have some reactions to the attack that happened here. Bushra Sheikh, who is a Pakistani living as a visitor in the United Kingdom, posted the following: "What happened in Edinburgh should disgust every decent person. I hope Rupert Lowe, Richard Tice, Elon Musk, Tommy Robinson, and the rest of the anti-Muslim outrage industry are proud of themselves. I am sick to death of their daily hatred.
We're proud of that.
Enough. Absolutely enough." Let's have a look at this.
So this guy goes on a rampant killing spree in Edinburgh, stabbing, attacking at least 5 people. All of them are injured. Clearly an act of terrorism, an anti-Muslim attack, an individual who goes on to say that he did this because he wanted to cleanse the United Kingdom of Muslim bastards from this country.
Is that what he said? Did this guy just go out there and was like, oh yeah, I just want to cleanse this country of Muslim bastards. That's just all I want to do. I just don't like Muslims. So I want to cleanse this country of Muslim bastards. That's why I'm doing this. Is that really what he said? That's really messed up.
That is the worst Scottish accent since Mel Gibson in Braveheart.
I didn't try a Scottish accent. If I tried, I would do it. Is that really what the guy said? Did he really say, "Oh, I just don't like Muslims. I just really don't. I just want to get rid of Muslims. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just want to get rid of Muslims." Is that really what this guy is all about? Is that what his primary concern was?
No, what I recall him saying is, they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Cool. Now we have David depicting the guy as a hero. So let's hear again what the guy actually said.
Focus, time again, protecting the country from these fucking little bastards, raping our young daughters, raping our kids. Enough is enough. I have had enough.
So seemingly this guy just has a problem with Muslims for no reason at all. He just wants to cleanse the country of Muslim bastards for no reason at all. We don't know why. He just doesn't seem to like Muslims. I don't know.
He doesn't like brown people.
He just doesn't like Muslim brown people. We don't know why. It's just he was inspired by Tommy Robinson and Rupert Lowe and others so much to dislike Muslims. That's it. There is literally no other reason at all in the video that we watched.
Yeah, and guys, think about what that guy is actually enraged about. It's not, Tommy Robinson said this. It's not, Elon Musk did this. It's, this is what Muslims are doing, and I wanted to stop. Again, went about it the completely wrong way. What is he actually enraged about? What people are doing, what Muslims are doing. So it's their actions that enrage this guy. It's their actions. So what could you possibly say? That he may have heard of it from Tommy Robinson or something like that? What's he enraged about? He's enraged about what they're doing. So what is the cause of this guy becoming enraged and wanting to get violent? It ain't Tommy Robinson. It ain't Elon Musk. It ain't Rupert Lowe. It's the Muslims who were going around raping and gang raping hundreds of thousands of young British girls.
No, he just doesn't like Muslims, man. He just doesn't
So
like
Bushra should be, why not be really, really enraged at the rapists who are causing guys like this to become enraged? Why not be enraged at the people who are really causing this guy to become enraged and violent?
Exactly. If you're a Muslim and you feel that you are in danger because there is anti-Muslim hatred being spread, and you think that some people are attacking Muslims, and you don't want that to happen, how about you start by passionately dealing with the rape gangs, the rapists, and start putting a stop to them. Start working together and put a stop. Start signaling, showing that you as a Muslim actually really dislike and hate the rapists and the rape gangs, and that this is your number one problem. How about you start there? But you don't care about it, do you? She is one of these people who, when the situation will come up of rapist grooming gangs, she will start posting pictures of some white British guy who also raped somebody and say, look, there are also white British non-Muslim people who do this stuff. Oh. How about you deal with the fact that the grooming gangs are mostly run by Muslims? Because that endangers you. That puts you in danger. Maybe you should have a little bit of survival instinct here and do something about that.
This incident hasn't happened in a vacuum, right? This isn't some attack that has just...
Right. This guy didn't randomly decide to go out and target Muslims.
Yeah.
It was because of the things that a bunch of Muslims did that he did that, right? This didn't happen in a vacuum, right? This guy didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to go out and attack a bunch of Muslims. Right. It didn't happen in a vacuum.
It also couldn't have happened in a vacuum because it was clearly outside in the street, and I've never seen a vacuum that big. So
you don't know, maybe in one giant vacuum.
Yeah.
occurred, and it's just a coincidence that people like Elon Musk, Richard Tice, Rupert Lowe, the likes of Restore Britain, the likes and parts of Reform, the right wing, Tommy Robinson, those crew, that club, that have been inciting violence, civil war in this country towards Muslims specifically. The language that has been normalized around Islam and Muslims in Britain is...
You mean the language such as the majority of grooming gang perpetrators are Muslims? You mean language such as that there has been a consistent pattern of grooming gangs, of Muslims running grooming gangs, Muslims abusing children and getting away with it, or it being buried because the authorities are afraid of being called Islamophobic? You mean that kind of stuff, right? That's what you mean, right? Right?
Absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable. We have been talking about this not just from yesterday, from years before, to say that something needs to be done. And now we are...
Why is she calling for violence against Tommy Robinson?
Yeah. No, I mean, think about this. Like, something
Why
needs
is
to be
she
done.
endangering Rupert Lowe?
Something needs to be done.
Why is she calling for violence against critics of Islam? Why is she, with this dangerous rhetoric, calling for violence and terrorism and stabbing against anyone who is critical of Islam? I don't feel safe anymore. If I go to the UK now, if I walk down London now, I might get attacked because of her.
Something needs to be done, AP. There needs to
Something
be laws. There needs to be laws to silence people like Bush or Sheikh from inciting violence against us.
But there are already Islamic laws, but she doesn't follow them. So she should be shutting up and wearing a hijab and going home. But she doesn't care.
Seeing it out on our streets.
Maybe Islam has a point, you know.
That women are intellectually deficient?
No, Muslim women.
Yep.
Where there are individuals who are willing to kill, to stab innocent Muslims that live in this country because they believe that they are doing society a service. And yes, Rupert Lowe, Richard Tice, Tommy Robinson, Elon Musk, you're one big, nasty, far right boys club. Boys club.
I'm sure they're really upset about the fact that you called them a boys club.
Using your...
What will Elon Musk do now? What will he do now? Oh, I'm the most rich. I'm the richest man in the world now. But Bushra Sheikh just called me, just said that I'm part of a boys club, and I feel like I want to give up because I clearly have failed in life.
Your followers, your power, your money to influence people, to make them hate Muslims. Every other minute, all you people talk about are either migrants with an undertone of Islam or just Muslims and Islams in general.
Dude, I see Elon Musk talk about these things occasionally. Most of the time he's talking about Grok, space, Tesla, US laws. What kind of fantasy world is she living in? This is what she does all the time. But you know what's funny? It's been 2 minutes in and she's never actually addressed the actual problem here.
I'm absolutely sick of you people. I'm sick of your posts. I'm sick.
Well, get the hell out of here then. How about that?
Sounds like she wants us all to be eliminated.
She wants all of us to be killed. This is what she's causing with her dangerous rhetoric.
Sounds like she's calling for more terrorist attacks, more Muslim terrorist attacks against us.
Non-Muslims are literally unsafe now because of her rhetoric.
I'm sick of every single thing you guys stand for.
Go to the doctor then.
You don't have...
You make me sick. I make me sick. We should all be sick together.
Have any decency. You're nasty. Katie Hopkins. all you people, your little club, your little group of people,
I thought it was a boys'
just
club. You said
disgusting
Katie Huff.
individuals.
Why is she now part of a boys' club? That's weird. But everybody sees this, right? Everybody sees how she's literally putting these people in danger now. With her dangerous rhetoric, she's now putting all of these people's lives and safety in danger. That's what she's doing. Because of her, somebody will be attacked, and it's going to be her fault.
And people that follow you are just as bad. People that cheer you on, your cheerleaders.
Hey.
What?
You people.
Yeah, she
Yep.
didn't Bushra also go to celebrate the IRGC in Iran? She did. And if she's actually back on British soil right now, after doing that, after literally going and celebrating the Islamic regime and their terrorist military, if she's actually allowed to come back to Britain again without any consequences, that would just give me one more reason to say that we all know that the British government is made up of a bunch of traitors, about whose preferred aftermath I shall not utter any further words. But I have quite a few things to say about the British people themselves who allow this to happen.
Yo.
What?
Now check out the responses to her little video here.
Wait.
Well, your little club, your little group of people, you're just disgusting individuals.
Ooh.
And people that
filth.
follow you
The
are
Quran
just
is right.
as bad. People that cheer
Well,
you on, your cheerleaders.
Well, you're a rapist, pedophile supporter. So what does it matter what you think about these people? Bushra.
And
you literally support pedophiles and rapists.
yeah, and I mean, just think about it. If she's allowed to be enraged because people like report what Muslims have actually done and so on, like, how are we not allowed to be enraged that the Quran calls us the worst of creatures, which is part of the mentality that gave rise to the grooming gangs? Muslims are the best of peoples. Non-Muslims are the worst of creatures. We have to be fought and violently subjugated because we're inferior. Why aren't we allowed to be pissed at that?
Look at the audacity. That's these people who are literally part of a club of pedophilia and rape want to tell other people that they're disgusting. It's pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm.
No self-awareness at all.
Now let's check base. Hey, look, 5,000. Dang, look at that. Hey, did I ratio her? Did I ratioed Bushra Sheikh. Oh, legend status. And all I did was repost what I posted on my own thing, except I put her name there.
She posted this. David posted, Muslim terrorist screams Allahu Akbar while slaughtering unbelievers. Bushra Sheikh, don't blame Islam. Don't blame the ideology. Don't blame anyone but that particular bed. Scottish man stabs 5 Muslims. Bushra Sheikh, blame everyone who has ever criticized Islam and anyone who reported the grooming and rape of tens of thousands of young British girls.
Ratio.
Hey, this is funny. What? I didn't notice that I did this. This post is from an account you muted. Bushra Sheikh. I muted her.
I thought it was my account first. Now, you want to see something encouraging?
Yes.
Start. Let's wait. Go back, man.
Oh,
I wasn't saying check my response. I didn't even know which one I responded to. I wanted you to check out why I'm thinking it might not work this time. Look, let's see how far we have. I don't know what's about to pop up, but
Melissa,
let's check out the responses. Where was this energy for the 250,000 young British girls raped by Islamists? I don't need to know you to point out your blatant hypocrisy and double standard. Blaming everyone for the actions of one man. Yep. The vast majority of Scottish people are peaceful. They're using the exact same response as Muslims. The vast majority of Scottish people are peaceful. Please stop demonizing Scottish people. This will increase anti-Scottish sentiment, which is already at very high levels. Stop using an isolated tragedy to inflame tensions. The number one cause of Islamophobia is the behavior of Muslims. They're raping children and detaching heads. Go F yourself. And then pictures of the grooming gangs there. Nothing to do with those you mentioned. It's the actions of Muslims. That's what I pointed out. It's the actions of Muslims that's the problem, you racist. Calls her a racist. Vlad the Impaler, I tried to show you how to deal with the invasion of Islam. You must have missed my TED Talk. Let's see how far you have to go down before someone agrees with her. 250,000 girls raped by Muslims disagree with you. You support the IRGC and the funders of international terrorism, so shut up.
STFU. You are welcome to leave anytime you like. 9 times higher rate of attacks for Jews. Have you spoken out about the 250,000 girls mentioned in the rape gang report last week? Why shouldn't we hate them? In recent years, we've had numerous terrorist attacks in the UK. I couldn't really tell you the reason the terrorists have for committing the atrocities, but I can tell you, since 2005, all of the coordinated attacks have been by Muslims. They've killed kids at a concert, people on public transport just on their way to work. They've stabbed innocent people on the street. No rhyme, no reason, or certainly not one I understand. I didn't like the IRA, but I knew what they were terrorizing us about. And we hated the IRA, protest marches, retaliation acts, banners, murals, etc. We all remember sectarian attacks, Catholics versus Protestants, the craziness of it, the same thing we are now witnessing in the Ukraine, brothers killing brothers. But what we're experiencing is different from most Muslims in the UK. Is different. Most Muslims in the UK are probably peace-loving, but their allegiance isn't to us or our country. It's to their religion and cousins. And we know what they think about cousins. Peace-loving doesn't mean pacifist. It just means, okay, nice post. Cool. I'm not going to read all of this, though. If only it only disgusts us because it's taken this long to finally happen. I wouldn't agree with that. I'm more disgusted by the Muslim men who raped around 250,000 white British girls. Did Lowe Robinson or Musk leave these killers and their families into the let these killers and their families into the country? Stop scapegoating others. Yes. Especially do nothing about goats when there are Muslims around.
Hey, I can't help but notice that you've got some big accounts, posting some good responses, but I'm the one that ratioed her.
That is true. Well, only because I didn't post in response to her. Otherwise, it would have been me. So,
oh, look at that. See, nobody cares.
And here we have some. Oh man, you could look at every single one of these forever. This is 7.5 minutes long. From the rape gang inquiry. Mother of rape gang survivor. We've had to firebomb-proof our letterbox because we've had threats to have the house burnt down. She's had threats to get her throat slashed. I've had threats to get my throat slashed. This has been continuous for 4 years, constantly.
Yeah, Busher Sheikh is super disgusted at that.
Father of rape gang survivor. She'd already been raped at this point by a gang, and most of the gang members went to her school. How is your daughter with relationships now? Father of rape gang survivor. Guarded, very guarded. She doesn't trust anyone. Scarlett is very clear that she never wants children or to bring children into this dreadful world. I asked Jess Phillips to look into this, and she completely agreed with me and said, oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that in a couple of months. That was 18 months ago. Nothing has changed. Father of rape gang survivor. Rape gang survivor. They called it the party house. So there were constantly men coming, anywhere between 10 and 20 men at any one time in the house. But one time on Eid day, I remember him shouting at me, telling me I had to get friends out because his relatives were coming from Birmingham to celebrate Eid, and they were expecting girls to be waiting here for them. This, Bushra, is the cause why bad things are happening in your country. So, I mean, in the country that you are inappropriately visiting, you should probably go piss off to the Middle East somewhere. And I can tell you now, Rape King survivor, and I can tell you nowadays, now, not a single one of the men during that time that I met were coming here fleeing war and were scared of what were going on at home. They were coming here because they thought that they could have fun. None of them were good people. Not a single one had any other mindset other than drinking, drugs, and taking a girl whether she wants to or not. Sounds quite familiar. What do you get from a rapist ideology? Rapists. That's what you get from a rapist ideology. And here is the famous post, once again, by the good old late Norm MacDonald. What terrifies me is if ISIS were to detonate a nuclear device and kill 50 million Americans, imagine the backlash against peaceful Muslims.
No, he'd say like, imagine the backlash against peaceful Muslims.
Yeah. Anyway, after having read all of this racist stuff, let's go to the next one. Hamza Yusuf, the former First Minister of Scotland. Muslims once again targeted and attacked in the UK, this time in Edinburgh. None of this is happening in a vacuum.
Why do they keep saying that?
I don't know. It's literally out in the street. Nobody thinks it's happening in a vacuum. Rupert Lowe, Tommy Robinson, and their ilk have put a target on the backs of Muslims for years.
He's literally putting a target on the back of Rupert Lowe and Tommy Robinson.
Hardly a surprise people are now acting on their words. They're all repeating the same thing. All repeating the same thing. This is Muslims are being targeted. This did not happen in a vacuum. We can already know that. We can literally see it. Rupert Lowe, Tommy Robinson, and others are responsible for this. It's always the same thing. Why are they all saying the same thing? Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm going to get to this scumbag in a second. Here's Dilly Dally Hussein. This is on Rupert Lowe. This is on Tommy Robinson. This is on all the charlatan, grifting, racist Islamophobes that have put a target on the back of 4 million Muslims in Britain. Why is he putting a target on the backs of Rupert Lowe and Tommy Robinson? Question number 2, why is this bastard still living in the UK? Oh yeah, he wants to take over, of course, naturally. If he wants to take over, where else would he live? The responses were pretty rude. This guy said, it's on the rape gangs and the authorities who didn't do anything about them. It's also on you. It's a pretty messed up thing to say. Here's David, once again, repeating this same post that he repeats everywhere.
It's very easy. Once you write one, then you see... Remember what you mentioned? They're all saying the exact same thing. So I just repost the exact same thing because they're all doing the exact same thing.
Firas Murad says, so 5 wounded innocents are on them, and every terrorist attack, rape, stabbing, and no-go zone is on you and yours. Do you like this arithmetic?
Good
He
point.
probably does not. You put a target on white girls' backs. Indeed. Gamonzilla says, no dildo Hussein. Dildo Hussein.
You should make a parody account called Dildo Hussein and just parody everything he says. hey, and you should call it 30 Pillars. 30 Pillars with Dildo Hussein. Guys, I just gave someone in the chat a golden idea for a parody account on X. That's Dilly Hussein, who runs 5 Pillars UK. You come up with your parody account, Dildo Hussein of 30 Pillars UK.
That's pretty messed up, man.
It's pretty messed up. But desperate times call for desperate measures, man.
This is on Muslims, the behavior of Muslims, and only Muslims brought this on. The non-stop Muslim terrorism, the never-ending massacres, stabbing, bombings, and beheadings, the Muslim rape gangs grooming children on an industrial scale, the complete contempt that you Muslims have for the British people who gave you a home, the extremely low Muslim employment rates, the extremely high Muslim crime rates, the extremely high Muslim welfare dependency, the Muslim sectarian politics, the behavior of Muslims brought this on. You only have yourself to blame. All ham to Allah. I said all ham to Allah. Muslims, non-Muslims. Why are these people?
Those memes are always funny, man.
Nope, it's on all of you for expecting the country to bend over backwards for you, for being quiet when one of you commits yet another atrocity, for the rape of 250,000 of our girls, for infiltrating our government, authorities, and establishments, and using your positions to hold back and demonize the native white Brits, for your parallel societies, for your no-go areas, for your youngsters who use our roads like their own personal racing tracks, for calling for jihad and flying Islamic terrorist flags while you march in London, for turning our churches into mosques, for forcing our children to attend your mosques at school and making them bend over and pray to your God, and the rest. Haven't exactly been pleasant guests, have you? Do better or leave. Damn.
There were like 7 Zoot jokes in that I could have made, but I restrained myself.
Damn, boy. Nothing to do with Muslims. You're being completely ridiculous. Britons never wanted millions of Muslims in our country in the first place. They came uninvited by the native people. Instead of respecting British culture, I must say this is not true. I'm sorry, but you need to take responsibility.
I think he means like by most of the population or something like that.
Yeah. But in the end, it was the United Kingdom itself that actually did invite the first waves of Muslims who mass immigrated into the UK as a way of rebuilding the country. Somebody could have told them that this is probably a bad idea. And then they just continued. Oh, no, you don't want, okay, our people don't want more Muslims here. Okay, don't worry, we will just integrate the ones that are here. This will work out. And by the way, while we're at it, we as a developed, wonderful country, we should invite more of them over and also have them integrate and work here because we need more workers. Oh, by the way, there are lots of Muslims being persecuted in these other countries and they're seeking refuge. Let's also accept all these refugees over here. But only this many, not more. Oh, wait a minute. A lot more of them came in illegally. We didn't really want that. However, we are a very, very advanced civilized society and we can't just deport these people. So we have to somehow integrate those people too. Gosh. Instead of respecting British culture, social norms, or our Judeo-Christian ethics and its indigenous people, 250,000 British children have had their lives ruined by the most disgusting abuse, violation, degradation, and torture by Muslim rape gangs. Where is your outrage there? Plus arrogant and inappropriate demands for special treatment, beheadings, terrorist attacks by Muslims. If there is a target on the back of Muslims, as you claim, then frankly, Muslims are entirely responsible for putting it there. Based. Anyway, and here comes the most disgusting person in international media. Along comes Mehdi Hassan. He responds to this post here, which once again shows the very same incident, which we shall watch again. Breaking, a 36-year-old white Scottish man is being investigated by counter-terrorism police after 5 people were stabbed in Edinburgh. He said after his arrest, I'm protecting the country from these effing Muslim bastards raping our young daughters.
Focus time again, protecting the country from these fucking Muslim bastards raping our young daughters, raping our kids. Enough is enough. I have had enough.
In response to this, the wonderful, most reliable journalist Mehdi Hassan said the following. The same week that Rupert Lowe put out his bullshit rape gang report. I repeat, the same week that Rupert Lowe put out his bullshit rape gang report, falsely claiming Muslims raped 250,000 white girls. And the same week Elon Musk amplified it on here, this happens. Is anyone surprised? They're inciting violence against Muslims and emboldening extremists. He calls this rape gang report a bullshit rape gang report. This bastard here. He calls it a bullshit rape gang report. Now, you can have your problems with the estimates of victims, with 250,000 girls being raped and so on and so forth. The report itself says that the 250,000 is an estimate. It might be more, it might be less, we don't know. The report, however, is full with actual victims that are named, who have told their stories, with verified stories. It is full of actual data, full of information that Muslims have been running rape gangs in Britain, that they have been raping native British girls and women in Britain. Mehdi Hassan comes here and says and calls this a bullshit rape gang report. I have a lot of things to say, a lot of things that I want to say about Mehdi Hassan, but I will leave it all up to you guys. Because I have a tendency to lose my temper when I talk about this stuff, as we have seen over the last few days. I don't know why.
Look what I did.
Here's this guy again. Muslim terrorist screams Allahu Akbar while slaughtering unbelievers. Muslims don't blame Islam. Scottish man stabs 5 Muslims. Muslims blame everyone who has ever criticized Islam. This guy's everywhere, man.
Shameless.
Harris Sultan said, stop raping non-Muslim girls so there are no mass rape reports. Beast. Ian says, ever the victims, aren't you?
Always a victim.
The cyberpunk dingo says, it's not difficult, Mehdi. Just say raping non-Muslim women is bad. Go on, you can do it. Matt Von Swall says, yes, so Muslim migrants gang raped 250,000 white women in the UK, but actually what I'm really worried about is the backlash against the Muslims. Go F yourself. Matty says, you first. No, you first, Matty. First you do it. You demonstrate it, then others will do it too. Adam Wren, it's the backlash against innocent Scottish people that concerns me. Space Force Medic says, this you. Hope you all get deported to your shit countries. Make American planes crash again, says Mehdi. Now, in all fairness, this post by Mehdi Hassan was in reference to planes crashing at a time, and he blamed it on, of course, the government, on the Trump's government, which is when he posted, make American planes crash again. It's an actual post. However, you are a Muslim, a popular pro-Islam, pro-Islamist, pro-Muslim guy, and you actually think it's a good idea to post this garbage? Make American planes crash again? And considering that Mehdi Hassan is a guy who loves to take things out of context.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, can we play that game. Boy, can we play that game.
You should, hey, AP, you should use, oh my goodness, there are like 50,000 people in the chat who can do this. Make a Mapka, like MAGA hat, but use AI to put that on his head, Mapka, and then post the picture of him wearing a Mapka hat with his tweet underneath it, make American planes crash again.
Nice. Let's do it. Why did you send me something? What is this?
Oh, it's just another. I just responded like a couple minutes ago.
Mehdi Hassan says in another post, I've never defended a rapist in my life. You, however, worked hard to elect a man to the presidency who was found liable for sexual abuse by a jury of his peers, a man accused of sexual misconduct by 24 women. But sure, tell me more about your values. Excuse me, I just have one question. He says, I've never defended a rapist in my life, but he has on multiple occasions supported the Palestinians. How do you explain this clear contradiction?
And he's responding to Mike Davis saying, defending Muslim child gang rapists is precisely what I'd expect from you, Mehdi. Now check out my based response.
Did someone say he's never defended a rapist?
Boom. Hey, look at that. It has 5 or 6 likes already, and I just posted it.
Cool.
Boom.
Are you proud of yourself? Chapter 39, giving one's young children in marriage is permissible by virtue of the statement of Allah, and for those who have no monthly courses, they are still immature, and the iddah for the girl before puberty is 3 months in the above verse. Narrated by Aisha, that the Prophet Muhammad wrote the marriage contract with her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old, and she remained with him for 9 years till his death. So Muhammad married a 6-year-old child and raped her when she was 9. And Mehdi Hassan loves Muhammad. So this doesn't make much sense. Plus also he's pro-free Palestine, which by definition means that he defends rapists. So doesn't make much sense. None of it makes much sense. Don't look back in anger. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Let's have let's look at super chats here. Poor Aisha and David. David is very funny. David tends to be very funny.
What are you saying? I'm like a joke to you, FB Shomer or whatever?
Why is Raymond Salam saying at Apostate Prophet, hello, David?
That's funny.
Kyle the Kilt, real football, the one where they hold the ball with their hands, not just using feet. That football, and I have a different meaning to punt. I know.
Oh, really? They don't use their hands in soccer? I don't see the goalie grabbing things with his hands. I don't see them throwing the ball inbounds with their hands.
Throwing the ball in with their hands. Hu Jintao, I completely agree with you. You're a hero, Kyle the Kilt. Hu Jintao says, at 14% in India, Muslims are getting hundreds of mosques demolished, while at 6% in the UK, they are in power. It all comes down to political will of government. That is true. And unfortunately, Western people tend to be a little bit dumb. So, no offense, Western people. Benny Van Nuffel says that IRGC flag depicts the devil, horns and wings. It does. Fide Defensor UK, Dawa Slayers, you need to check out Father Calvin Robinson. He's just like Deport. He's in self-exile in Grand Rapids. See his Oxford debate.
There you go, AP. That's your new hero.
I don't think anybody should.
That's your new hero, I said.
I don't think anybody should check out Father Calvin. I don't know why I'm even calling him a father. I don't think anybody should check out little dummy Calvin Robinson, also known as Colin Robinson.
Well, it's Calvin Robinson catching strays over here, man.
The guy is neither a priest nor even a Christian. He's a complete scumbag. That's what he is. Nobody should check him out. Just because he says one or two things that might be correct, that doesn't mean anybody should check him out. So, I don't know. You might know more about him, but he's a complete filthy scumbag and a liar.
Someone, Jack Ray, called him farter. Calvin Robinson. Very rude.
Grapes to Jannah. AP David Wood, thoughts on Islamic nations being zooted in the World Cup left-right. Tunisia also got zooted by Japan 4-0, and Saudi Arabia got zooted by the Spains 4-0 as well. I know it was 5-0, which until the last goal was invalidated, then it was 4-0. I also made a post about it to raise awareness of the racism that Spain is involved in by doing that. I did my part to call out the bigotry and the hatred on the part of the Spanish, and said Spain is racist and disrespectful. You can perform like this against Saudi Arabia.
Guys, it's not really zooted. I want to see India defeat Saudi Arabia 30-1. 30-1. Then we can say zooted.
That is true. That man is demonic. Farter Calvin Robinson. Yeah. I'm sorry, dear. Oh, there you are. Fide Defensor UK. Yeah. Well, first, if he's obsessed with Jews, everything bad happening in the world is about Jews to him. Anything bad happens to him is also about Jews. Anything that happens ever at all is somehow something bad that is all about Jews.
That's what you're saying, because you're paid by Jews.
Well, yeah, but that has nothing to do with the topic. Plus, he's also a liar, a complete liar, and a complete liar.
I liked him because he seemed based about Islam when other people weren't, and he had cool hair. But then he turned out to be a total douche.
Yeah.
Like Candace Owens, man.
Yeah, Colin Robinson wasn't always like this. I liked him actually in what we do in the shadows. He was nice there. He was kind of funny, but then he got kind of all messed up about and obsessed with Jews.
What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean with what we do in the shadows?
There's a character called Colin Robinson in the series What We Do in the Shadows, and he's an energy.
I saw the movie.
He's an energy vampire. He feeds by boring people to death.
That's pretty funny.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. If Islam is so violent, then how come there are examples of Muslim majority countries that have been in relative peace for many years? Like which ones? The oil-rich ones?
Yeah, because the people in power crack down on the Islamists among them.
That's true. You could say that there are some Muslim countries where things go
because they know the Islamists will ruin their money flow.
People often give Indonesia as an example of a country that is quite okay as a Muslim country. But Indonesia is a very big mix of different cultures and religions, of secularism, of modernity, an attempt to be a developed country. But even Indonesia has states that have Islamic Sharia law, where people are put to death or lashed in public. And they have religious discrimination. It's also one of the countries where if you leave Islam, you are discriminated against, including losing custody and such. It is bad. Joshua Wooden.
Hey, you know that What We Do in the Shadows movie?
Yeah.
There's one scene that Sam Shamoon keeps reminding me of, this one scene, because anyone who says something positive about him, even though it's in the context of something negative, he fixates on the positive thing that was said, and he posts it. He says, see, they just admitted that. So it'll be something like me saying, Sam had the brain power to be the best destroyer of Islam that's ever been. He's the best debater. He's blah 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 blah, and he'll just fixate on this, and it'll be the point will be what a massive disappointment it is that he can't get his temper under control, because he could be so much more massively effective. But he'll fixate on me saying something positive about his abilities and stuff like that. But it always reminds me of that scene when the guy who's in charge of washing the dishes hasn't washed the dishes in years, and there's like a huge pile of dirty dishes covered in blood in the kitchen, and they sit him down to explain things to him, and one of the vampires goes, look, you're a cool guy, but you're not pulling your weight around here, and look at all this, and they lecture him, and he goes, well, it's good to hear that I'm a cool guy. And they just stare at him and they go, that's not the point. The point is not that you're a cool guy. The point is that you're not pulling your weight around here. Anyway.
Nice. Nice.
Werewolves, not swearwolves.
Very, very nice. Somebody said check Kat Shoshana's tweet about JD Vance. I love Kat Shoshana's account, but I can't see anything about JD Vance. Anyway, oh, now I see it. What the heck? What is going on here? Wait, it's going down a whole rabbit hole. Hang on a second.
Hear you about the Pakistani role, especially.
Very good. We love Pakistan. Thank you.
To this, Kat Shoshana responded with this "Whoa, Greeb" from the meme, and then Maher Tusa says, "I will die for Pakistan," and then Kat Shoshana did this, "Pakistan."
What is it?
My life for Pakistan! I love Pakistan! We all love Pakistan! Pakistan!
That's actually funny, man. Tusi. That's like so random, man.
What is it?
Pakistan, I will sacrifice my life for Pakistan!
It's funny they made his mouth move.
We all love Pakistan! Pakistan!
It's funny because look, with his face, he doesn't look back to hand. With his face, he doesn't look back to hand the mic back. That's funny, man.
Anyway, deep cut David Wood. My last name is Wooden, and in school I was relentlessly called Woody Woodpecker, and various derivatives on the word wood. Memories.
Yep. Nope. I got that as well. I got the Woody Woodpecker and so on. Fortunately, my kids grew up after anyone knew who Woody Woodpecker was. But I had this one kid, his friend, that he was, I mean, this was middle school, but I'd known him since like second grade because we lived in the same trailer park. But he used to walk. He had the classroom next to me in like seventh grade or something like this, and every time he'd walk by my class, he'd go, and but it was like hundreds of times, man.
That's pretty racist. Live friends, video at 9 hype. Let's us get it to 1. Let's yes. Who's live friends?
Life France, man. That's life.
Oh,
Yeah. You don't know life, man?
I know life.
Yeah, so he has God Logic too, but he's got his channel Life France.
Okay, I only knew about God Logic too. I didn't know that he actually had his own channel. Now I need to subscribe to his channel. It feels pretty messed up of me.
It's extremely messed up.
Fox McCloud. This is what Tommy Robinson and Rupert was warning everybody about, pushing these people too far. That's true. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Actually, let me read a tweet by Rupert Lowe. Rupert Lowe posted the following here. Vile attempts by Zach Polanski, Humza Yusuf, and many others to demonize me following the release of our rape gang inquiry report will not work. For decades, the mass rape of vulnerable white girls by gangs of Pakistani Muslims was covered up exactly because of efforts like
That is
this.
correct.
It will not work anymore.
That's
There's
what
a
I
clear
said.
link between religion and these abhorrent crimes that have stained on our nation for so very long.
Mhm.
That religion is Islam, and
Yes,
other
it is.
politicians must finally find the courage to say so.
That'd be a good idea.
That is,
It is totally based.
threats, abuse, and intimidation will not work. We have held our hearings, the report has been published, and now we move on to the private prosecution phase. Our aim is to put rapists and their enablers in prison. That is now our objective. I agree with all of it, except that they need to be put to death or deported. The enablers need to be put to death, whereas the rapists need to be put to death and then deported. Ideally.
Deporting bodies.
Yeah. If we know Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim is written by man, then logically you can't ever be authenticated. How can Hadith science work logically? Well, it just goes like this. You just have to authenticate that it actually goes back to Muhammad. Once you have authenticated that it goes back to Muhammad, then it's considered authentic. That's all.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know what you mean. Logically, it can't be authenticated. They have a system of authentication. The problem is their system is considered a joke by actual historians, and was interesting when Sheikh Yasser Qadi admitted this. He said there isn't an academic in the world who takes our methodology seriously.
Wait a minute, I want to have a look at this.
Their system of authentication is Bukhari got it from so-and-so, who got it from so-and-so, who got it from so-and-so, got it from so-and-so, got it from so-and-so, who got it from so-and-so, who got it from a companion of Muhammad who saw Muhammad do or say this. And they look at the names, and if all the names seem like really good, reliable individuals, then they say, so we know this is true.
Dude, nobody cares about Bugatti or anything right now.
Sahih Bugatti.
Asman Gold openly defends an anti-Muslim terrorist attack in the UK where 5 men got stabbed. This is nothing. This is not even remotely bad. Who gives AF? Who cares? I don't want to hear about this. Now he, Hassan, wants us to be worried about something bad happening to him. Let's see. I wonder what Asman Gold says here.
That his bullshit rape gang report falsely claiming Muslims raped. That his bullshit rape gang report falsely claiming Muslims raped 250,000 white girls same week. Elon Musk, is anyone surprised? They're inciting violence against Muslims and emboldening extremists. If you think this is bad, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is not even remotely bad. Oh my God. And another Hassan. Yeah, exactly. It's just crazy for me to see some of this stuff, right? And let me see what the other ones here. Hassan, bigger apologist. Exactly. And he'll always, this is what he'll do, is he'll always try to he will immediately, this is a person who has immediately come to a conclusion. You've created an entire narrative, and you've done all of this in the span of 3 hours since this event happened. And now everybody else has to listen to this narrative. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? I don't want to hear about this. This person defends every terrorist in the world, and now he wants us to be worried about something bad happening to people like him. That's it. Oh.
I've been listening to too many Asman Gold videos and streams recently. It's getting into my head.
Does he wear sunglasses all day outside or something? Or does he go to a tanning bed or something? He looks white around the eyes. That's normally guys who go to tanning beds or people who work out in the sun. But
I'm very confident that I'm confident that he never actually goes outside. So it can't be that. So he might have a tanning bed or something at home. He will probably say that he never goes outside. He spends his entire life at home in a room, live streaming and such. Very good guy. I've spent hours covering the UK grooming gang reports. I have zero sympathy for people who are downplaying it and calling it bullshit. The atrocities against those children and the years of authorities covering it up is disgusting. Nice. Good man. Good man. Good man. Even if he stays at home all day long. Very good man.
What if he's a vampire?
He could be. We don't know that. We don't know that. There's also his reaction to Asman Gold was shocked to find out how Muslims treat women. The Prophet Muhammad stated that women are deficient in both religion and intelligence related to men. I found his reaction very funny to one of the things that are being said here.
Surah 228 declares that men that hold a rank above women. The Prophet Muhammad stated that women are deficient in both religion and intelligence relative to men. And in the same hadith, he noted that women form a majority of those. And so all the women are in hell. If a woman or a dog passes in front of a praying man, the prayer is invalidated. What?
Look at his face.
That was kind of when they were doing their prayers in Times Square. It was funny. There was a guy who was there with a dog the entire time, right in front of them.
Look at his reaction to this.
That women form a majority of those, and so all the women are in hell. If a woman or a dog passes in front of a praying man, the prayer is invalidated. What? woman or a man passes in front of a
I wish it was full
praying-
screen. That would be a
Oh,
funny little
excuse me.
clip to say.
Passes in front of a praying man, the prayer is invalidated. There's a reason why mosques position men with their backs to women during prayer. Sharia obliges a wife to engage in sexual intercourse with her husband whenever he desires.
He actually read the entire thing.
Yeah, I know. We should have done that. That was a brilliant idea on his part.
He did he read the entire report. He went live for hours and read the entire report from beginning to end, and then published all of it as one video on his YouTube channel, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Good man. Good man.
He's all right.
Good man, Asmund Gold. Good man. I thought he was just some weirdo who just sits at home and plays games, but I've come to like him a lot. Have you seen this, man? A group of Libyans assault and beat an African Christian
Yeah, for wearing a cross. Yeah.
wearing a cross. You can also hear it. They say Salib. They point out that he's wearing a cross, and then beating him for it.
صليب هو في المدينة الرياضية حاول خلينا نشوف حاول يدك صليب لا صليبي هذا صليبي في المدينة الرياضية صليبي في المدينة الرياضية.
This is what they think about Christians and Christianity. But you will have people online pushed by certain governments and their interests trying to tell you that Christians and Muslims should be friends against the Jews, which I always find very, very hilarious, because what does the Quran say about that again? What does the Quran say about that again? What in the heck does the Quran say about that again? Quran chapter 5, verse 51. Come on, man. What does the Quran say about that again? The Quran says the following. O you who have believed, do not take the Jews and the Christians as allies. They are, in fact, allies of one another. And whoever is an ally to them among you, then indeed he is one of them. Indeed, Allah guides not the wrongdoing people. So the Quran itself tells Muslims not to befriend the Jews and the Christians. And it also says that the Jews and the Christians are allies of one another. The Quran says this. But there are people trying to sell you the notion that Christians and Muslims should be friends, should be allies, should put their differences aside, should be cool together. The only benefit you will get out of this is to the Muslims. If you, as Christians, actually put your differences aside and start forming a union or an alliance with Muslims, what happens next is that the Muslims will take advantage of you and make sure to use this opportunity to infiltrate and conquer, and then eventually find the time to subjugate the Christians and to implement their own Islamic laws. This is what Muslims believe. This is what the Quran says. Do not befriend the Jews and the Christians, because the Jews and the Christians are friends of one another, and whoever befriends them, he is one of them. That's what the Quran says. So heed it. I don't know why I sang that. Paul, Muslims migrate to the West for benefits from social programs and end social program to cause them to leave. You can always reinstall them later. Yeah, I would say you could, before doing that, you could do certain things like outlawing like certain Islamic practices, stopping the building of new mosques, shutting down tons of mosques, banning certain Islamic practices, or making the circumstances in your country very, very impractical for religious Muslims, so that Muslims have to eventually self-deport. I think that would be a very, very good way of handling things. I would suggest that kind of stuff, like ban halal slaughter, ban proselytizing for Islam, ban preachings of Islamic superiority, ban the hijab,
Ban first cousin marriage.
ban first cousin marriage.
There go all your Pakistanis.
do lots of these things, make it impossible to practice Islam properly in your country, and then watch them self-deport.
Hey, this isn't specifically about Muslims, but they do sometimes block traffic by lining up and praying and stuff like this. But this, other people do that as well, like leftists and stuff like that. People will go out there and just line up and block traffic. I would be in favor of a law that makes it perfectly legal to beat the freaking crap out of anyone who's blocking traffic. Because, I mean, you don't know where you're stopping. You don't know who's pregnant in a car back there and on their way to the hospital or something like that. So it should be totally legal to just beat the freaking crap out of people for blocking traffic, man.
Emily Rose says, I was watching someone watching you guys yesterday. Tell me who it is, and we can maybe have us watching someone watching us. And then maybe
yeah. And then they could watch that.
Yeah, then
afterwards.
they can watch us watching them watching us. That'll be fun. That'll be hilarious. Super chats. Kale Grandy, 100 Wingerlings versus 10 Woodies. No weapons allowed other than Star Trek LARP gear. Who wins? Well, obviously the Wingerlings. Paul, Asmongold is ripe to become anti-Islam activist. He's
What's
incredibly
LARP?
smart guy.
What is that?
Dude, you have asked me this a million times.
I have no clue.
You say somebody's LARPing when you say somebody's pretending to be something. It's a reference to live action role playing. So somebody's live action.
Okay, yeah, I do remember you saying that nerd stuff though.
Asmongold is ripe to become anti-Islam activist. He's an incredibly smart guy. Maybe contact him to have a conversation. He will be the biggest deconverter. I have personally never thought of the possibility of contacting Asmongold, but maybe.
I mean, he might be one of the guys who, seems like he learned a lot. We saw a little clip of him. What? So he's learning a lot right now.
Yeah. Gift PS2 Shaper gifted 5 Apostate Prophet memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very, very much. You have hereby invited 5 unwilling people into the Apostate Prophet cult, and they will stay here and will never be allowed to leave, because anybody who leaves will be put to death. Baz the Dark Horse, happy 5 months to me, happy 5 months to you. Islam is a religion of peace, because after one shouts Allahu Akbar, there are many pieces spread all over the place. Yeah, very smart. Arnold Schwarzenegger, hey David, I got a new dilemma for you. If Bible can be corrupted because it's written by man, and we know Hadith is written by man, then by Muslims' own standards, all Hadith could be corrupted. You deal with this dilemma, David.
No, it doesn't really fit. According to the Quran, the Bible's not corrupted at all. If you're saying Muslims believe that because it's written by man, I mean, the Quran was written down by men, but they don't believe the Quran has been corrupted. So yeah, I don't know how this would work.
Nice. Peace of Christ. Liberal ideology causing so much damage to the West. They've left the country open like an open wound for flies to attack. Indeed, that is true.
They've left it like an unwrapped lollipop to be swarmed by ants.
Exactly, and you never want to do that, especially when Muslims are around, because Muslims have been telling us that if you leave a candy unwrapped, then the Muslim men will start attacking it. That's what Muslims have been saying. Obediency says, I'm Carol, don't be so naive, it's an emergency. It is an emergency. Cat, AP's #1 fan. What's up, AP's #1 fan? What is it? Image you have on your profile picture. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Also, your presentation last night was awesome, Mr. Wood. Yeah, I heard that there was the online conference of responding to Orthodox Christianity. I heard that every single one of them sucked except yours. What is that all about?
I don't believe that for a second.
Well, that's what I heard. So
that's false.
Well,
your entire denomination was wrecked. Now admit it.
I literally praised your presentation and how you're attacking.
No, you said you heard something.
I haven't watched it actually, so I don't really know. I only watched 2 minutes of yours, which looked interesting. Because you were just reading websites or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I took a bunch of screenshots from articles, but I should have timed how long it was going to take to read all those because I had like 15 minutes of stuff to say and I was still reading, and I looked and I only had 5 minutes left to speak, so I just kind of I just had to say a couple things and close out.
Very, very nice. But what? Asman AP collab, that'll be funny. Apostate Prophet, check 20 minutes on Asmon Gold's live stream. What is it? What am I supposed to find there? When you post links in this in the chat, I can't really do any. Oh, actually, you know what? I actually could.
Find the post, man.
I could just look at my other screen and then find it and then open it.
Yeah, I would take that as obvious. Or you could have told me to go find it.
You see, this is the proof. This is the proof. Where is it now? Where is the post now? Let's see. Black Angel. Black Angel. Black dot angel. Black dot angel. Here, let me see.
This is an.
This is minute 20, second 40. This is what you want me to watch. All right, let's see.
Another good one here. Combined with the absence of any fixed minimum age of consent, means they want to fuck kids. That's right. These are the same people.
He's got an eyebrow raised. He goes, "That's right." He's funny, man.
He has very expressive eyebrows.
That's right.
He has very expressive eyebrows.
By the way, that are talking about how bad our Epstein files are. Our Epstein files are your
His eyebrows are constantly moving, man.
Dude,
He used to talk about my eyebrows moving in my old videos and stuff like that, but this guy's
look what he just
super
said.
expressive.
Look what he just
our
said.
Epstein files are. Our Epstein files are your marriage records.
I'm downloading that just for that. I'm gonna clip that, man. I'm gonna clip that.
I don't want to hear it. At least we put him in jail. That's it. It's crazy to see this. Next thing too. Oh, we're gonna get through it.
Nice. I gotta watch the whole thing now at some point.
Is that 7-hour thing?
Yeah. I wonder if he took a break at any point. Did he pee? Does he have a thing attached to his body where he pees into a tube or something?
All he needs is a cup, man.
Oh yeah, that's how you do it. No.
Dang, this guy gets tons of views, man.
I usually just pee my pants when I have to pee. So,
dude, this guy gets tons of views, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, I'm talking just today. He's got 25 minutes that has 373,000. 21 minutes that's got 316,000. A 9-minute that's got 448,000.
Dude, this guy is one of the OGs.
21 minute, 624,000
of game streaming. He started on Twitch very early on. He started long before that on YouTube when YouTube was in its very early stages, uploading like game tutorials and stuff.
He gets like 2 million views per day.
Then
on the like that day.
Then he jumped onto Twitch and started doing Twitch live streams every day for many hours, gaming, talking about things and such, and then uploading clips on YouTube. So he's been around. He's been active online for, I think, nearly 20 years now or something. He's one of the OGs, and he's a likable guy. So. But I think he got increasingly more popular in the political realms over the last year or two. Peace of Christ, rejection of God equals
I'm glad he's using his huge platform to share some of what he's learning about Islam.
That is true. That is true. Asmongold is a national treasure. He's very funny. I noticed that too as soon as I started watching him. He's a very funny guy. And often it's just his. I mean, he's not even. It's just the way he speaks and the way he acts and the way he reacts to things. It's just hilarious. Aussie Abe, I put a post about the inquiry and all the Muslims responded, but what about priests? Not one Muslim I know denounced the grooming gangs. Well, that tells you a lot about Muslims. And Govan, the Jeremy Boring podcast with Lucas Gage is good, FYI. Thanks for your mitzvah to the Jewish people, bros. I was curious about that. There is an interesting thing that happened. Lucas Gage was one of the primary Jew-hating, Israel-obsessed people on Twitter. But then, at some point, over the last year or so, I think, suddenly something changed. I think it was even during a live stream that he changed. I think it was during a live stream.
I've never had a conversation.
When most of his followers were these Jew haters who were obsessed with Israel day and night. He said that he's done with this, and that he said, I think I have been deceived and misled. I don't want to do this anymore. And then started speaking out against the whole anti-Jewish obsessed people. And then started telling his story here. I remember fighting with this guy on Twitter.
Well, Luke Cage is basically invulnerable in the comics. I don't know about him in real life.
That's true. He's pretty strong. He does this thing where he destroys things with his fist. It's pretty brutal. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the UK and the other EU nations could have gotten many immigrants from non-Muslim countries. How come they brought in Muslims? Where does these politicians' ideology come from? It is all very, very intricate, but each of them has stupid reasons for every single one of them. The UK's reasoning is that they bear a responsibility over the partition of India and Pakistan. Germany was pushed by the United States to participate and take a side in the Cold War and invite people from Muslim countries and so on. There's a lot of dumb stuff that happened. Hu Jintao, AP, are you saying who is solving the problem in the UK? Yes, make me the UK leader. I'm not saying that because I will be the dictator of of Great Britain. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the same group of people who developed the term rape culture are the same people who now defend rapists. Can't make this stuff up, indeed. Tanzil Muslahud says, for David, I left Islam and now I'm Christian. Should I go with Roman Catholic or Protestant? I would say you are asking the wrong questions. You should go and visit an Orthodox church.
Protestant.
Look up nearest Eastern Orthodox church, find a Greek Eastern Orthodox church, and then go there. Introduce yourself, sit through the liturgy, ask some questions. I would say that's the right way to start.
Yeah, if you want to be kissing a bunch of images and stuff like that. But if you want a good Bible-believing church, got to find a good Protestant Bible-believing church.
Yeah. If you want to be like, hey, we believe Bible. Look, it even says in the name of our church. You can go try that, or you can go to a place where people actually admit to, interpreting the Bible instead of saying, "Oh no, we only believe the Bible by itself, and we know best how to interpret."
Yeah, if you want to go to a place where you don't read the Bible because you'll just get confused, and then you won't trust what the leaders are saying because they contradict the Bible all the time. Listen, AP and Black.
Look, the Bible speaks for itself. Let me explain to you what it says.
It's the Bible. You can't understand it. You don't even know if Jesus died. You don't even know anything about the Bible.
The Church of We Believe in the Bible. Catholic got nice churches and big numbers, unlike the small. Hey, look, there is one thing we all agree here. Nobody here likes the Catholic Church. Nobody here likes Catholics.
Hey, it is. Hey, it is true though. I mean, you Eastern Orthodox are like, we're the original church. We've been here 2,000 years, and yet you're a tiny fraction of what Protestants have become in a mere few centuries. So what's that tell you? You're not getting the job done. You're not getting the job done, guys.
The Orthodox are actually the biggest singular group after the Catholics, but
no, they're not.
The Catholics just got big because of colonization.
There's way more Protestants than there are Eastern Orthodox, man.
Which Protestants?
You can't. Okay, which Eastern Orthodox? So now we have to break up the Russians, the Greeks.
They're all one church. They're all in communion with each other.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They
the Russians and the Greeks.
Yes, they are.
The Russians and the Greeks, no. They say each other. No, they say they're in schism. No, they're in schism. No, you're the schismatics. No, you're the schismatic. Shut up, schismatic. No, you're schismatic.
There's currently a political problem going on over Ukraine, but they're still in communion with each other.
That's why they're beating the crap out of each other.
Do you believe in the same thing that those anyway? Dude, why are you starting these dumb fights?
I didn't start it. I'm reacting to you orthobros.
Aussie D says, Asmongold said that if Pope Leo calls for a new crusade, he'll go back to church.
That's funny. That would be funny if a bunch of atheists were like, "Hey, if Pope Leo calls for a new crusade, we'll all convert." That'd be funny, man.
Aussie Abe, Judeo-Christian, you see, AP have been Zio grouped. This is true. Always been Zio grouped. Barnabas, not Barabbas, says, what? Don't call Mehdi a bastard, even though true. Anyway, I get affected too, but let's remember that vengeance belongs to the Lord. God bless you. Thank you. Good reminder. Hu Jintao says, AP, David Wood, have you seen Mehdi Hassan's video where he calls non-Muslims animals? If you haven't or you want it, I can email you. Yes, we have seen it. Plenty.
Is that the one? Yeah, that's the old one.
Yeah.
When he realized, hey, he could be much more effective by putting a suit on and seeming more sophisticated.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Sahan. Go back. Distracting Gem says, it isn't letting me post any factual statements about a specific religion that is involved with the most evil in the world. You mean the rapist religion? Let me know. John West, but the aliens. Grapes to Jannah. Tunisia got zooted so many times by Japan, they had to pixelate the goalpost during the game. Check Kachashana's tweet about Vance Pakistan. Thank you for giving me this idea, Paul. I saw this and then I checked it out. Blue Moon. Thank you. That was thinking.
Bomb, 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 dang, 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 ding, dong, ding, blue moon, blue, blue, blue. Blue, 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 blue.
Arnold Schwarzenegger says Muslims like to say that Christians are similar and compatible, but 9 out of the top 10 most dangerous countries where Christians are being murdered and persecuted are Muslim. The one outlier is North Korea. This is true. The Christians are being persecuted by Muslims all around the world. That is true. It's a fact. Light, wait, WTF, I never signed up to be a Woody. You are a Woody if you follow David Wood. AF Iron says, we want a David Wood live call-in stream where all he does is insult our hikmah or tell prison stories. I would donate.
I could tell tons of prison stories, man.
But what about the hikmah? The hikmah, you don't have the haq and the hikmah. Did you see Mohammed Hijab arguing with the Saudi over who is more Arab? I didn't know there was a purity contest in the Arab community over Arabness. I did see it. The funny thing is, it started because Mohammed Hijab made a pretty offensive and some would say racist comment about Saudis in a discussion. And then all the Saudis started going angry and attacking him and they started calling him a black African slave. Black African Egyptian Coptic slave.
And then he started complaining about Arab racism, which we've always known about. But
why are these Arabs so racist? Look at the Arabs are so racist. What's wrong with them? And the funny thing is, we know that Arabs are incredibly racist, but he's the one who started it. And then he started complaining about it. It was fun to watch. I didn't watch much of it, but the bits I did watch were kind of fun. They're all a bunch of retards. Dr. Whitemeat made a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dr. Whitemeat. Branka22222 says, hey, no arguing, you two. Now submit to Rome. Ain't nobody submitting to Rome, man. Ain't nobody submitting to Rome.
Why not? That's the true church.
Ain't nobody submitting to the schismatic church that can't get its stuff together. Like, hey, no, we found a new doctrine. 1,500 years later, we just found a new doctrine. This is now part of our fundamental Christian beliefs. Yeah, we were insulting the Protestants for making up things 1,500 years later. But then, anyway, let's add something new to our doctrines. That's literally the Roman Catholic Church. By the way, anyone listening who doesn't understand, all jokes aside, I'm just joking. Okay? You know I love you. You know I love you. I'm just joking. I would never offend you, nor mean to hurt you. I'm just joking. And now everybody go join the Orthodox Church. Anyway, anything else, David?
Yeah, just that one last post I sent you, just so we don't ignore Pierce Morgan.
You didn't send me any post.
I did, to the private chat.
Oh, let's see. What's that?
Your hero, Pierce.
Horrifying what has happened when people, you know who you are, shamefully
Hang on.
for the hideous crimes of a small minority. Shamefully demonize all Muslims. Who demonizes all Muslims? David, why do you demonize all Muslims? What's wrong with you, man? You make me sick. I make me sick. We should all be sick.
This
is the funniest thing. Oh, boy.
What did he call you? Didn't he call you something?
He called me annoying prick. Which
That's your AP.
Which is AP.
Why did he demonize all annoying pricks?
AP is short for annoying prick. Yes, you heard right, everybody. Pierce Morgan called me an annoying prick. And I'm
that should be your description. That should be your description. It should just be an annoying prick, Pierce Morgan.
I'm thinking when I publish my first book, I will have, when people say stuff about you.
Yeah.
He's
an annoying prick, Pierce Morgan. Yeah, that's the blurb for the front.
Yeah. Beast. What is happening here? Bangladesh Muslims lynched a Christian man on charges of blasphemy. Is this new? What's happening here? I think this is from a different time, but
well, all I can think when I see this is we need as many of these people in the UK as possible.
Yeah, and this they seem formidable. We should invite all of them to the UK. I don't think this is right now. I think this is from one of the many other instances where they brutally attacked Christians. Don't worry. Do not be worried, guys. This is not happening right now. This happened at some other time. Many times. Anything else? I saw some people stupidly arguing recently that Charlie Kirk would probably embrace Islam today or something like that. And then I saw Milk Bar TV. It was all a great honor once again, and post the following video, which is why I want to finish out with that video before we finish, not in the Zut sense. Let's have a look here. Milk Bar posted the following video. He said, Charlie Kirk, leading up to his death, was extremely vocal about what he saw as the threat of Islam to the West. The day before he died, Kirk posted, Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. Charlie Kirk was far more outspoken about Islam than he was about Israel. There is just as much evidence that his views on Islam led to his death as there is that his shifting position on Israel did. None. Yet shameless bad faith actors, some of them even Kirk's own so-called friends, continue to push that narrative because they despise Israel and are willing to exploit a tragedy to advance their agenda. It's hard to imagine a more disgusting and exploitative bastardization of a man's legacy than this. And it starts out with a frame of Charlie sitting with
You were
me.
just told not to say bastard, man.
Bastard.
I have really started, as you know, speaking more and more about Islam. If you want to talk about how Islam mistreats women, we could talk all day long. Because you brought up female genital mutilation, which is a teaching of the Islamic faith.
Most Muslim majority countries, you cannot criticize the Prophet Muhammad.
Muhammad, the greatest man ever to live, the greatest example, was a warlord who married a 6-year-old, raped her when she was 9, and then kept multiple wives. Remember, President Donald Trump openly ran on a Muslim ban into the United States of America?
Total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Do you think Islam is compatible with Western civilization?
Absolutely not.
You get rid of Christianity, and then, even more dangerous, you go from secularism then to Islam. Because then you're like, well, we have to believe in something, and then you bring in a completely different ideology that's at odds with Western values.
I debated at Oxford and Cambridge back in May. These are broken, conquered cities and towns. They're completely unrecognizable. When I go walk through Piccadilly Square and there's just more Muslims than native-born whites, or there's something wrong about that, and that is a metamorphosis and you have to wonder, like, did you vote for this? Did you want this? Did you invite it?
I know a lot of great individual Muslims. My primary doctor in America is actually a Muslim, and he's amazing. That's not the point. You could walk the street and meet a great Muslim in London. The question is macro Islam compatible with Western values? Macro. Of course it's not.
As many as 1 million white English children may have been the victims of Muslim rape gangs.
Islam does not believe in freedom of speech.
11 slaughtered in the editorial meeting at the satirical weekly Charlie Hebdo. Supposed revenge for the paper's predictably provocative cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad.
Islam does not believe in freedom of religions. And finally, whereas we in the West are very careful to try to
It's actually the pedophile Muhammad, but continue.
Mixed religion and state, they are commanded to actually go into the state and try to change the state to be more Islamic around the core pillars of Islam.
Muslim armies move! Muslim armies move! We need to change the corrupt secular government.
Those 3 things are antithetical to the West.
In fact, this is the main reason why I decided to speak out, because after I left Islam, I had horrible deception and basically, oppression of my mind behind me. I wanted to get away from it, but I look into the world and I see people saying stuff like Islam is misunderstood. It's a religion of peace. It's not a religion of peace. It is not a religion that wants to coexist with you. We have today in the UK, in many other countries, we have Muslims preachers openly saying that the vision of Muslims should be to take over Western nations.
I agree with this guy completely.
سنخصبهم وسوف ننزل وسوف ننجب منهم لأننا سوف نفتح بلادهم.
We've had imams in England saying they want to mount the West like a woman to be mounted and subdued. Gaddafi said something similar in the late 90s, saying that we're going to take over Europe without ever having to lift a sword. For anyone that has eyes to see and ears to hear and actually reads the Hadith and reads parts of the Quran, you know that conquest is an Islamic value.
I cannot see a single Western country that has become more Islamic and has become a better place to live that is happier or freer.
By what metric? Just happiness, quality?
Everything from quality of life, from cultural cohesion.
Is the Muslim world thrilled they're taking over the West?
Yes.
We tried for many years to conquer Europe through wars, only wars.
50 مليون مسلم في أوروبا بعد عشرات السنين سيحولوا أوروبا إلى قارة مسلمة.
This is the soft Islamic conquest of the West.
The spiritual battle is coming to the West, and the enemies are wokeism or Marxism combining with Islamism to go after what we call the American way of life. But soon, Britain will have more practicing Muslims than practicing Christians. I think that will be a catastrophic change, and everyone knows it.
He's wearing a tuxedo like you were in that interview the other day.
I was trying to copy him. Charlie Kirk was a good man. He was a good man. Arnold Schwarzenegger, AP, do you think if secularism got more popular with young Muslims throughout generations, then a lot of issues with Islam will go away in the future? Potentially, but I wouldn't put much faith and hope in it. That sounded kind of funny. I see what I did there by accident. You will always have the revivalists come and try to revive Islam or reform, bring back Islam. And that has been happening over the last 50 years or so. It's an ugly, ugly thing. I think they need to learn about Christianity. Sketch art therapy. Hang on. Love you guys. Pope Loomer shared on X texts with Charlie about Candace. I saw. Joshua Wooden, yes, Asmongold, Pope Leo will make the call after recently in Algeria advocating for Christian-Muslim coexistence, that we Christians should stop fearing Islam. Yeah, politically speaking, Pope Leo is like the greatest disappointment of the 20th century.
Black Angel's like
21st century.
Black Angel's like, yes, the Pope says it, so you guys need to stop criticizing Islam and just be friends.
Yes. Ozzy, we need to brainstorm a new name for David's subscribers. How about the Branch Dawoodians?
That's a good one.
Now, Woody's is good enough, man.
No, Branch Dawoodians is pretty good.
That doesn't make sense. They were already did the Vidians.
Yeah, I know. That's what's funny about it. It's already
the
Vidians.
It's already the same thing. And then you just need to start a compound and arm yourself and everybody. That would be fun, man.
How about the Dizzlers?
The Branch Dizzlers. The Branch Woodies. Anyway, anything else, David?
No, that's it. We've said it all.
It's cool. Man, I miss those days when we used to go live every day for 5 hours or something.
Those were the days.
Those were the days, my friend. I thought they'd never end. Thanks, everybody, for watching. What are we doing tomorrow?
I'm going to be on Tony Costa's channel tomorrow, so in your face.
Well, nobody's watching that, so. But you can check out David Wood on Tony Costa. I will probably have something more interesting going on.
Yeah, will let you super boring and lame. Anything you do.
Thanks, everybody. And God bless you all for watching. Wake up, wake people up, and make everyone a Christian. Even if they don't want it. Just kidding. Thanks, everyone, as always. God bless you all. Have a good day and evening and night. And thank you all for being here. All those who have lovingly watched this channel. There is more to come. Much more to come. We haven't even begun. What about the Grand Woodies? Said the mule. That's good. I like it. All right. See you all soon. Bye-bye.
Stay away from Islam.
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 Stay away from Islam. Stay away from Islam.